hold up a jar of marbles and you will say how many marbles are on that glass. And I will ask each one. The first one will say it's 81, the next one will say it's 52, and so on. And most are off, but if you take the average value, you will find the correct number of marbles in the glass. So this will be applied to many things that probably are above the level of the individual. I mean, if there's a technical question being discussed or something like what's been left to the politicians like 20 years ago, there's totally somebody in your collective neighborhood that will know about this thing that's being discussed. And so this is another point where the network becomes more than the constituents could be in a sum. And this actually inspired Neil Stephenson of putting it rather awkwardly but nice. So there are no more Heinleinian polymaths, instead a web of geeks, all whom knows a lot about something. So this is the thing. Share your information. Go ahead and just tell other people what you know about, and bring yourself in. I mean, that's the best part about it. We can communicate outwards, so this will only improve of it. I mean, you can actually even say, okay, I will tweet everything, or I will put on Facebook everything that, I see today or whatever, and don't really care about it. I mean, your filter layer will decide what's worth passing on to the rest of the network. And the symbiosis that's going on here, it's also pretty new. I mean, I'm using my telephone for communicating with people. I'm using my computer for getting into the collective, to dial into the collective. And there's some kind of symbiosis going on, like at the beginning, this diagram where you couldn't really tell where the human begins and ends. And there's definitely more ahead. You will see that there might be implants coming up for enhancing the brain power, or for better storage, or we even had body modifications going on, like tapping into the nerves and controlling processes with it. So there's definitely more to see. And whoops, not yet. The thing is, when you look at the classical collectives around us, you will definitely see that they're usually controlled by very few people. It's with the politics, it's with everything else, very little people. And so instead of a network of 100 ideas and, let's say 600 politicians in the government, there are just 600 people there, 600 life experiences, 600 times, let's say, 8 years of studying and so on. And what's new is we're many. There are hundreds of thousands, even millions of people connected like that in a pretty efficient manner. So the collective intelligence can actually work for us. So there are more ideas around, let's say the Twitter networks and so on, that could be taken into account, and we should make good use of it. And yes, okay, that's pretty much what I was trying to get over. And don't forget, resistance is futile.
Well, thank you so much, Christiane. Are there any questions? There are 2 microphones, or maybe just one. There's a microphone over there. Please, if you want to go to the microphone. Now we can all hear it.
I don't have to repeat the questions?
No. No, you don't have to repeat the question. Get the microphone a bit further from your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So thanks for the presentation.
Welcome.
Thanks for the presentation. It was really interesting, this kind of collective individuality, or this is your idea. And my first question is that why did you avoid the most omnipresent term of cyborg? Was it intentional, or it was a choice, just a choice? This is my first question.
Okay.
And the second question is that, because, I mean, Borg is
Let's do one question at a time,
okay, yeah,
then she can answer the question.
Okay.
Okay, so I have to ask back, what do you actually mean by the cyborgs? I mean, they're completely, well, at least from our perspective now, they're completely synthetic organisms. Mm-hmm. So what Luhmann and other system theorists have stated is that you need you need to have actual things that are not computable. So there's not much uncomputable going on in a cyborg. Mm-hmm. And so from all that we know now, there should be some sort of human involvement or other biological neural networks. So that's why I wasn't looking at it.
So, but cyborg being the cyber organism, so the thing is, even you can call a human-machine symbiosis a cyborg. Mm-hmm. So this was the reason. I mean, Borg means cyborg, but I mean, if you check some online sources, I checked and it means the same. So this was a little bit kind of ambiguous for me. So I thought that. So you meant something, that you meant that it's not only about the information systems or cybernetic systems.
Yes, I didn't choose the Borg because of the cyborg aspect of them, but rather because everybody knows the Borg have been some sort of humanoid species a couple of thousands of years ago, or was it longer? Whatever. So actually, there are some very natural brains going on with explants and implants, and so this is pretty much something we might be heading to. Mm-hmm. So I think it's the more interesting and more wide-ranging effect than going on to totally artificial life forms.
Yeah. And my second question is that having these said, your presentation as your ideas, what's your take on a seminal piece of essays like Donna Haraway's Cyborg Manifesto? So you think that this whole thing becoming a Borg or cyborg, it means that it's getting better in some sense of gender politics?
Mm-hmm. In general politics, you mean, let me rephrase the question, the more we start becoming, using explants and externalities like Wikipedia for memory and all that, it will improve on politics, is that right?
No. The thing is, okay. I mean, the whole thing that you said, to the point that I got it was that we are our collective individuality is becoming a kind of Borg, using all these online services and tools, and also the hardware that we are using and these kind of things. So there is this seminal piece of literature which is called Cyborg Manifesto by Donna Haraway. It's not something recent. It was published in the 70s, if I'm not wrong. And in that article is being debated that having this cyborg approach, which was pretty new back then, it might bring a kind of more neutral gender politics to the world of human beings. This is the gist of what she wants to say. And I wanted to know that you are just saying that you are just extending the whole thing to the internet, which does it mean that it brings a more neutral net in terms of gender?
In terms of gender, I mean, that's already going on. I mean, all the queer stuff going on. I mean, of course, definitely, because what's different about the new media is that you actually have equal parts of men and women taking part of it very actively. When you look at those old collectives like corporations, like politics, or even academia, it's pretty much the same there. Traditionally, it's like it was a job for the men going in there, and so it's especially influenced by their way of working, their way of, if you can propose on that. And so, of course it will, because those issues will be discussed and being brought up in a more equal fashion.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say it's a question, maybe a comment on